Hi, and welcome to Our Gamified World. I'm Adam Brown.
I'm Danielle Tachney.
Today we are talking about Team Treehouse, a collaborative app that you have some experience of. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is and how it works?
Sure. So Team Treehouse is a web development and just recently a video game development learning platform, which is also app-based. It's almost like a MOOC, but it doesn't have a time limit. So I guess you could call it a spook, a self-paced. Have you heard of that term before?
I've heard of
So
lots of
spook,
different terms
there's a
around
lot
MOOCs,
of
yeah.
different acronyms flying around on the internet. So a self-paced MOOC. It runs parallels to lynda.com. And so it's kind of structured in a way that you can focus on a certain topic like JavaScript, HTML, game development with Unity, or you can choose to subscribe to like a learning track. So the learning track might be called front end web development, where you learn HTML and CSS and JavaScript. So a plethora of things. And so the lessons are structured like you'll have a 2 to 5 minute lesson or just really short video on a certain aspect of something. You'll do a learning activity where you might do a code challenge or like solve a puzzle, and then you might do a quiz and you've gained 10 points. And as you gain more points, you go up different, well, you don't have levels, but you kind of get a bit of street cred. So you also gain badges for certain topics that you're focusing on. So something might be like you've made a table with HTML. So that's like a table badge. And these badges are shareable on your CV or on LinkedIn. So that's really great, and it's got a really great reputation. So a lot of employers are now using this as a professional development tool for their employees. So currently, I'm involved with a team of colleagues, and I'm winning. Well, and but it brings out a competitive nature in people to just keep developing
Yeah,
skills.
it's great you've got that support within a workplace context. So your employer is not only happy for you to do it, but encouraging it, promoting it, and you've got. So tell me a little bit about the workplace interactions with that, because it's a subject of conversation, I guess. You can kind of get pushed or egged on by other people, I guess,
Yeah.
but you there's a friendly form of competition for it.
Yeah,
In
it's
that way.
good. There are leaderboards. Like there's an overall leaderboard for the whole website. Then there's also a leaderboard for your team to see who's currently gaining the most points. And you can actually look at team members' analytics and so see like what they've achieved in the past week or so. And you can look at your own personal analytics. And actually, it drills down quite a bit, and which is quite useful. The app also has weekly challenges, so you don't have to do that, but you can potentially form a team with people that you've met in the community forum. So that's another aspect of the community forum where you can pose questions, people can answer. If your answers get upvoted, you also get points that way. But you could form a team and create like an app that does a certain thing like a to-do list app or whatever the challenge has been posed to you. So you're gaining these real life skills whilst using it. So
The extra content, bonus content is great, isn't it? As you say, it's not for everyone. You don't have to do it. But I find when I play games like Red Dead Redemption or Lord of the Rings: Shadow of Mordor, I want to do all those side quests. I'm a bit of a completionist. I never go to the 100% level. But people do find that nice and extra motivating when you've got extra stuff you can do. It just, there's the flexibility and the variety of content is great. One thing you brought up there is the importance of credentialing, and you mentioned that it's very well, the reputation of Team Treehouse is very, very much, very high at the moment, and people do respect it. And credentialing and evidence, to be credible, those things do have to have that reputation, don't they? So I've met a lot of people in industry who are quite interested in the idea of credentialing and building their employees in terms of professional development, and they might only have a very vague notion of gamification. But having these kinds of apps there, having things so that organizations themselves don't have to do the gamification for them and design something, that's really, really valuable. So no doubt lots of companies are jumping on board.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of companies are jumping on board with these self-paced MOOCs. So Lynda is becoming quite standard. And then you've got Coursera, that's free. But, some companies might be paying for their employees to undertake a paid course in Coursera, which also can be shared on a CV. So there's a lot of benefits from these self-paced MOOCs. Interesting with Team Treehouse, early on, I think it's been around for about 4 or 5 years, I'm not quite sure, but early on there was this sort of narrative-based side quest rewards. So there was a bit of, it was really quite interesting. So you could complete a challenge or complete like a topic and gain a badge, and then there was a mysterious video that would pop up, and there was a narrative that really strung together sort of what Team Treehouse is all about, and it was this interesting, mysterious sort of dark dystopian narrative that went along, and it was actually quite addictive, but they've since taken that of so I was a bit sad about that. It's sort of gotten more analytics based, and there isn't really that creative sort of mysterious sort of side to Team Treehouse.
It's tricky, isn't it? Because a lot of users would, as you do, you'd be attracted to that element.
Yeah.
But I imagine, again, they're moving into industries, and the more game-like you look, because of the stigma that's still attached to gaming, and the very frequent confusion between gaming and gamification, I suppose they feel like they just need to get more and more aesthetically bland a little bit, if I can use that judgment, and that is a judgment, subjective judgment. What I love, I guess, to wrap up this episode, what I love about all this stuff is that it encourages people to be really explicit and self-conscious in their positioning of themselves as lifelong learners. And that's, even once you've got that position in the workplace, you still need to level up. And so these apps do allow us to do that. It's great. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us next time for a look at Super Better, an app that allows you to gamify your mental health and well-being.
And don't forget to subscribe, leave us a comment or a question.
Cheers for now.